the beginning, when we were all sheltering in place, it was nice to have alone time, and it was nice. It was quiet. It was so quiet, and the lack of traffic and not having to go anywhere or do anything was great. But it is hard for someone who is very, very sensitive, because I started to feel the people in the world that were suffering like it was a megaphone. It was so loud. It's calmed down a bit though now. How do you deal with something like that?
Yes, well, I agree with you, Lisa, that in the beginning, being alone was just an empath's dream. Being quiet, not having traffic, being able to be in nature, having the air clear up in Los Angeles. It was so amazing that after a while, now that we're into it, we're yearning for human connection. And I think the empaths are very attuned, like you just said, to the collective suffering in the world. Not that it hasn't always been there. No, we're just more attuned to it because we're focused on a pandemic, but there's always suffering on Earth, and empaths can pick that up. Generally, I think there's been so much more emphasis on suffering now that empaths who don't know how to set the boundary and who feel that it's their job to take on the suffering of the world are taking it on. And so part of my work in thriving as an empath is to show people how to hold energy rather than absorb, because it is not your job to take on the suffering of everyone. It isn't. And I know that's kind of hard because empaths want to help. Empaths tend to be helpers and lovers and givers and have such big hearts. But you also need to practice self care. And especially during this time of huge intensity of suffering, you have to learn how to hold your energy where you can hold
Mm,
the heart space for people and not
yes,
absorb. So there's a
yes.
distinction with.
That's what I'm noticing. Is so now to hold this energy it's enormous. How do you not get weighted down? What do you mean by holding it though? Maybe I'm thinking it's the wrong meaning.
Yeah, I'm talking about holding the energy of the heart. There's a 3-minute meditation in the book, a heart meditation, where you focus on the heart energy and feeling the unconditional love and the warmth and the serenity within you that then begins to trickle down your arms and your hands and out your energy field. And holding that loving energy, it goes out to the world. And it goes out indefinitely. The nature of subtle energy is that it travels and it goes to where it's needed. Like if you have a loved one who's suffering 3,000 miles away, the best way to help them is to get into this heart space and allow the energy to go out and have the love go their way. But you don't push it, you don't do anything. It's not the ego is generating it. You're a vessel for this heart energy. And just by taking that time, 3 minutes only, once a day or more, I do it many more times a day, to tune into my heart, to hold energy for the person, which means create a loving field for them so they can relax, they can begin to heal at their maximal capacity, as opposed to you taking on their suffering, which isn't going to help them at all.